Hello and welcome back to American Classic Tour TV. I'm your host JD Conroy, and on today's show, we're going to preview our California Coast Tour. Let's get right into the itinerary. Journey on the world's most famous scenic highway to discover the magnificent California coast, featuring an unforgettable, endless panorama of Pacific coastline scenes. See California's towering coastal cliffs. Enjoy expansive views of the Pacific Ocean. Visit the Golden State's iconic cities and charming seaside villages as you make your California dream a reality on Highway 1. Now, this tour always makes me think of my dad. For those of you who don't know, my dad's Joe Conroy. He's the founder and president of American Classic Tours. Anyways, our California Coast Tour is one of my dad's favorites. And I remember before I worked in the company when I was younger, I'd always ask my dad questions like, Dad, you've been all over the country. What's your favorite place in America? And my dad's one of those types of people, he normally answers those questions by saying something like, well, come on, there's too many good places. How could I just choose one? And I'd press him, I'd say, come on, Dad, can you tell me at least one of your favorites? And then he'd kind of pause and he'd say, well, you know what, JD, I would probably, if I had to pick, I would say the California coast. When I asked him why the California coast was his favorite, I remember him saying something like this. California's Central Coast is gorgeous. It has wonderful weather year-round. It's not crowded. It seems like what California would have been like before its population boom in the second half of the 20th century. I love the charming small towns along the coast, the unspoiled natural beauty, the golden hills, and the beautiful beaches. There's something romantic about the farms, horse ranches, and the vineyards in sunny Southern California. While California's big, iconic cities, San Francisco and Los Angeles, are fascinating and fun to visit, it's rural California that to me represents what California dreaming was all about. It was this unspoiled natural beauty that drew so many people to leave everything behind and start a new life in California. I think this sentiment that my dad shared with me is what makes this tour so special. Even if you've been to Los Angeles, San Diego, or San Francisco, this tour is still totally worth taking if you haven't been to the small towns of Monterey or Carmel by the Sea or Solvang or Santa Barbara. These small coastal towns are what make this tour a premier destination. As we look at our map, you'll see that we travel hundreds of miles on this tour from San Francisco all the way down to Los Angeles, hugging the California coast for the entire tour. Let's take a look at some of the tour highlights. We'll begin in San Francisco, and San Francisco has a fascinating history. The city was initially established as a Spanish mission at the site of the Presidio in 1776. It was conquered by Mexico in 1820 and then overtaken by America in 1846. During the gold rush of 1848, thousands flooded into the small town, quickly turning it into a metropolis and America's dominant Pacific port. San Francisco has always had a countercultural bent. During the gold rush, the city attracted dreamers and misfits that had a sort of frontier spirit. In the early 20th century, it became a center of bohemianism as artists, writers, and outsiders flocked to the city to share their creative and spiritual pursuits. In the 1950s and 1960s, San Francisco was the epicenter of the hippie movement, which culminated in the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood Summer of Love in 1967. Today, this is especially true as San Francisco and the nearby Silicon Valley have boomed as the center of the global tech industry. Dreamers flocked to this area and created companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, Uber, which have changed modern life as we know it. We'll learn all about this unique history on a guided tour of San Francisco. We'll see the city's many icons, such as the crazy, curvy Lombard Street, the historic Nob Hill neighborhood, San Francisco's legendary Chinatown, Fisherman's Wharf. We'll take a cruise on the San Francisco Bay where we'll take in views of the city's skyline, the Old Bay Bridge, and the Golden Gate Bridge. Next, we'll begin our journey down the California coast. We'll visit two of America's most idyllic towns, Carmel by the Sea and Monterey. I'll never forget when I first visited this area. I had to keep pinching myself. I was like, am I in a dream or a fairy tale or something? I can't believe that this place is real. I can't believe actual people get to live here. It's just unbelievable. Monterey is home to the 17-mile drive along the world-famous Pebble Beach golf course. We'll stop for a photo at the Lone Cypress. The Lone Cypress is a Monterey cypress tree standing atop a granite headland overlooking the Carmel Bay. The tree has become a Western icon and has been called one of the most photographed trees in North America. You'll have free time to explore Monterey's Cannery Row. Made famous by John Steinbeck, this area today is home to some lovely restaurants, hotels, and shops. Next, we'll take a scenic ocean drive along Highway 1 to Big Sur, which is home to perhaps the most photogenic spot in all of America. Big Sur is a premier postcard photo of the Pacific coast, situated perfectly where the mountains meet the sea. We'll continue our journey down the Pacific Coast Highway 1 to the Hearst Castle. Perched high on what William Randolph Hearst would call La Cuesta Encantada, Spanish for the Enchanted Hill, overlooking the vast Pacific Ocean lies the majestic Hearst Castle. In 1919, after his mother's death, publishing tycoon William Randolph Hearst inherited thousands of acres around San Simeon. Together with Julia Morgan, an architectural pioneer who is known as America's first truly independent female architect, Hearst conceived of his beautiful Hearst Castle. And there's a reason why it's called the Hearst Castle. George Bernard Shaw described Hearst estate as, quote, what God would have built if he had the money. The Hearst Castle has a total of 42 bedrooms, 61 bathrooms, 19 sitting rooms, and 127 acres of gardens. The estate also featured indoor and outdoor swimming pools, tennis courts, a movie theater, an airfield, and during Hearst's lifetime, the largest private zoo in the world. Hearst was an avid collector. He said he wanted to make his estate, quote, a museum of the best things that I can secure. Today, it acts as just that, an incredible museum of over 25,000 historical artifacts and art pieces that Hearst collected over the years. We'll take a guided tour of the house where you'll hear fascinating stories of the Hearst Castle at its social peak during the Roaring 20s and 1930s. Hollywood stars such as Cary Grant, Jean Harlow, Clark Gable, and Charlie Chaplin all visited Hearst's estate on multiple occasions. Hearst also hosted political luminaries such as Calvin Coolidge, Charles Lindbergh, Winston Churchill, and more. We'll learn all about this history as we tour the Hearst Castle, and we'll enjoy amazing views of the Pacific Ocean from the estate. We'll take in the small town charm of San Luis Obispo, which is home to gorgeous hilly scenery, sandy beaches, and rolling vineyards known for producing tasty Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. Next, we'll explore the little Danish town of Solvang. With a population of just 5,000 people, Solvang sits in Santa Barbara County in the scenic Santa Ynez Valley near California's Pacific Coast. And I think Danish Solvang is such a neat story. I mean, who would think that on the California coast you'd have this small little Danish town that, to me, when I first went there, it reminded me of Duloc from Shrek. It's like this perfect little town. So the story of Solvang is that between 1850 and 1930, it's estimated that 1 in 10 Danes left Denmark because of poor economic prospects. Many of them, or most of them, came to America, settling in the Midwest region. Some of those Danes living in the Midwest eventually came to California and set up kind of a community on the West Coast. They brought their Danish culture and traditions with them. This Danish culture remains in Solvang to this day. The city is home to several bakeries, restaurants, and merchants offering a taste of Denmark and California. We'll visit a Danish bakery where you'll try some tasty Danish treats such as Æbelskivers, cream puffs, or kringles. On a guided tour of the town, you'll see that many of the facades and buildings reflect a traditional Danish style. You'll see the famous copy of the Little Mermaid statue from Copenhagen, and a statue of the famed Danish fable writer Hans Christian Andersen. A replica of Copenhagen's Round Tower can be seen in the town center. Next, we'll journey to Santa Barbara. Known as America's Riviera, Santa Barbara is distinctly Spanish in spirit. The architecture, specifically the red tile clay roofs, will make you feel as if you're walking through a Spanish town. The Santa Barbara County Courthouse and the old Mission Santa Barbara seem as if they were taken directly from Madrid. Along with its stunning architecture, Santa Barbara boasts sandy beaches lined with regal palm trees. Located just 90 miles north of Los Angeles, it's easy to see why this quiet town is where some of Hollywood's most famous stars like Oprah, Brad Pitt, Ellen DeGeneres have decided to build their secluded estates. Now, if you're a history buff like me, you'll definitely want to visit the Old Mission Santa Barbara. Established in 1786, this is California's quintessential historic mission. We'll end our tour in Los Angeles, and what can you say? There's really no other city in the world quite like LA. Los Angeles is the creative capital of the world, where so much of the world's popular entertainment is produced. We'll explore Hollywood's many landmarks to take in its great showbiz legacy. We'll walk the Hollywood Walk of Fame, where celebrities are immortalized with an honorary star. See the Hollywood sign, the iconic Chinese Grauman Theater, where countless films have premiered. Explore the Dolby Theater, the home of the Oscars. We'll take a guided tour of Paramount Studios to go behind the scenes to see where some of your favorite movies and TV shows have been made over the years. So there you have it, folks. That's our tour to the California coast. If you're interested in joining us on this tour, call our office or visit our website and one of our tour specialists will be happy to help you. It's really easy joining us out on the road. When you purchase one of our classic all-inclusive packages, your tour will begin and end at your front door with our signature home pickup and return service. We'll arrange your airfare and your airport transfers, making it seamless for you to meet up with your tour director and the rest of your group. Along the way, everything is included. Your hotel accommodations, fine dining, all attractions, entertainment, and admission fees, deluxe motor coach transportation, luggage handling, all gratuities, the services of an American Classic tour director, and premier local guides. Folks, all the details are arranged for you so you can sit back, relax, and journey in comfort. American Classic Tours was founded by my dad, Joe Conroy. So we're a family-owned and operated business, and for over 35 years, we've led thousands of travelers on our tours to the most beautiful places in North America and Europe. If you have questions, would like more information, or would like our free tour catalog sent to you in the mail, call our office or visit our website. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in to another episode of American Classic Tour TV. We hope to see you out on the road soon.